I'm your announcer, Brock Ringlitz. Let's play ball.
Welcome inside the confines of Jack Couch Park here in Kitchener. We are set for some baseball here on a Sunday afternoon. Beautiful day here as the Kitchener Panthers take on the Hamilton Cardinals. Mark Perry, Ian Jodry here in the booth with you for today. 22 degrees and nothing but sun, not a cloud in the sky.
Not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day for baseball.
All right, let's take a look at the umpires for today's game. Calling the balls and strikes is going to be Hudson Gagne. Apologies on that. It is Hudson Gagne. Mike Guthrow is the crew chief. He's over at first base, and James Lyles is over at third, as Ben Hewitt will step onto the bump here for the Kitchener Panthers.
And third appearance of the season for Ben Hewitt, but first start in a Panthers uniform. We saw him pitch in relief Thursday against the Majors. Came in and worked 2 clean innings, did not allow an earned run to 2 hits, and struck out a few batters in the process. Got some swing and miss, which was good to see from the big 6'5" righty. And of course, we talked about the 4 games in 4 days. It's going to take some piecing together, especially to find 4 starters. And of course, they threw their ace Owen McNeil Thursday. Evan Elliott got the win on Friday. Quintana got the start yesterday in Guelph. And then, talking to the team, they said they used Hewitt's relief appearance Thursday against London as his bullpen to try and get him ramped up for this. Interesting to see how deep into the ball game he'll go. Managers, not just here in Kitchener, but around the CBL, have been a little weary in trying to work their pitchers up and work their overall pitch load up as we enter this season. Haven't seen a lot of guys go very deep into ball games. We'll have to see how long of a leash Ben Hewitt has in his first start in a Panthers uniform here today, capping off the 4-game in 4-day stretch.
Starting things off, the 2024 IBL MVP, Tyler Duncan, will take a first pitch strike, and we are underway here at the couch.
They certainly have no problem churning out talent, and Canadian talent in Hamilton, obviously. As you mentioned, Duncan winning the MVP 2 years ago. Owen Boone, who Panthers fans will know really well after throwing that no-hitter last year, winning the MVP for last season. No shortage of talent on this roster.
That'll miss everybody there as Junior Ibarra unable to get a glove on that one. Two balls, one strike here on Duncan. Swings and misses for strike 2. Here comes the 2-2 from Hewitt. That one just missing on the outside. Hewitt, a big man, and it's got that good kind of 10 o'clock delivery, if you will, or even a 2 o'clock. As that one's put high and deep, and that one is crushed onto Ottawa Street. Tyler Duncan with a lead-off home run, the second home run for the Cardinals all season long, and the visitors very quickly make it 1-0.
And Hewitt just left that one over the heart of the plate. Obviously didn't want to issue a leadoff walk. Walks have been an issue for this Panthers pitching staff all season long, and just left one over the heart of plate for Tyler Duncan. And with the sun shining and the ball flying on a hot afternoon, Duncan got all of that one. Penalve didn't even turn around as it sailed over the right field wall. So Darlin Herman is next up for this Hamilton offense, batting in the 2-hole today.
Darlin Herman, the first baseman. There you can see the average, 400 on the season. He has had some pop. The 0-1. Bit of an excuse me swing that goes into the seats and out of play. Hewitt used more of as a reliever to start the year, as that's popped up Into the infield, Petey Kiefer calling for it, makes the grab, and just like that, there is one away. Let's take a look at the defense playing in behind Ben Hewitt here today. Matteo Zeppieri, Rafi Gross, and Yasvani Penalve in the outfield. Yosuke Fuji, Petey Kiefer, Charlie Towers, Josh Williams getting the start over at first base, and Junior Ibarra catching the pitchers here today. Here's Anderson Feliz. Swings and misses at that one for strike one. Second baseman watches that one go to the side.
Flea's one of the offseason acquisitions, one of the imports for this Cardinals team, and a little bit slow getting going, but he has done a great job putting the ball in play just about every at bat. Has not walked or struck out yet on the season.
2 balls, 1 strike here on Feliz. That one missing just on the outside. Plays many positions on the infield as that one goes way inside, and there is the 5-pitch walk.
And the walks are certainly something that we're going to be highlighting today, and the Panthers are hoping that we aren't highlighting them much longer. It's Panthers pitching staff leading the league in walks now. That's their 38th of the season issued. We mentioned Hamilton's pitching staff on the other end of things. They've only issued 13 walks for the first 5 games on the campaign.
Here comes the DH, Jaden Brown. Into his second year with the Cardinals organization, former Washington Nationals farmhand. Actually, no, got drafted by the Cardinals. Minor leagues, of course, pandemic had something else to say about them playing a season, and he ended up going to school instead. The 0-1, that one missing on the outside.
Showed a bit of pop in the middle of that Cardinals lineup last year. Ended up playing 37 games, a 715 OPS. Went deep a handful of times to go along with 20 RBI, about a dozen stolen bags.
Swings over top that baseball for strike number 2.
Well, as tough as it was for Hewitt to give up that leadoff home run, he's got a pop up and now a runner on first. He's just a ground ball up the middle away from getting out of this mini jam.
Swings and misses, strike 3. First strikeout of the ball game for Ben Hewitt.
And just challenge him with the fastball. Good location, said, hey, give me your best swing, and Hewitt wins that battle, power versus power.
So bring up Brandon Nickel. Shortstop was one of the all-stars last year. Was played at Bernie Arbor. So that's going to be strike 1 on the shortstop. Recently signed his brother Trevor the other day. Swings and gets a piece of that one, fouled back to the fence. Former South Arkansas player, played 4 years collegiately there. That one missing on the outside. Ben Hewitt looking for that outside edge, but I think he missed by about 2 inches.
Yeah, and way up in the count, I think he's just trying to locate that fastball a couple inches off the plate, see if he can get Nickel to chase at it, but couldn't get him to offer at that one. And now let's see what he comes back with up 1-2.
Set up inside, but it has a bit of movement going to the outside. Evens the count at 2-2. There you got a look at Anderson Feliz taking his lead over at first. That's popped high, and it'll go out of play.
Hewitt leaving a lot of pitches up in the zone during this at bat. That time after the breaking ball, he follows it up with the fastball up and into Nickel. Would have been hard to do a lot of damage with it. He tried to get the barrel of the bat around on it and ends up just getting in front of it. Big hack and still a 2-strike count.
The 24-year-old gets set. That one's taken outside. Puts the count full at 3-2.
Hewitt kind of looks like he's pitching around Nickel right now. Would love to see him with 2 strikes and 2 outs go right after this hitter. It was up 0-2 in the count. Now in danger of losing him.
Runner's going to go, and that's going to go into the dirt for ball 4. And Brandon Nickel will be issued a free pass as well.
Great at bat from Nickel, falling behind 0-2, patient, not offering at that fastball on the outside corner, then just fouling off that pitch up in the zone, taking a few breaking balls upstairs. Those can be tough to lay off of. And then after seeing all those pitches up at eye level, Hewitt tries to get him by switching up the eye level and burying one in the dirt. But good eye from Nickel, good take, keeps the inning alive.
That'll bring up Rainy Reyes with 2 men on. First pitch he sees right into the breadbasket of Josh Williams, and he'll take it to the bag himself. And 2 runners are stranded as we are through to the bottom half of the first. A Tyler Duncan home run to lead things off, but the only damage done on the scoreboard as the Kitchener Panthers trail 1-0.
I mean, that ends up being the story lots of times throughout the year. We talk about single inning for a pitcher and said, hey, it could have been a lot worse. And that's certainly the case here in that first inning for Ben Hewitt and the Panthers. Gave up that leadoff home run, the no-doubter to Tyler Duncan on one that he just left right over the heart of the plate. Then settles in nicely, despite walking a pair of batters, he ends up getting a bit of swing and miss, and something that we didn't see a lot of from Hewitt in his last time out. That was the relief appearance Thursday against the Majors when he pitched those 2 innings, threw 24 pitches, but only got 3 swing and miss. So good to see him get some swing and miss and some soft contact for the first and third outs of that first inning. Of course, it's going to be Freezie Adames getting the start today for the Cardinals. He was electric in his first start with them. That came 9 days ago now. And Adames pitched 6 scoreless innings, got the win in that one. 6 shutout innings at that, 7 strikeouts, only issued the 1 walk. We've talked already about this Cardinals pitching staff and how they've been able to limit the free passes, and Freezie Adames was one of the ones responsible for that after his exceptional start against Chatham-Kent 9 days ago.
Well, Ben Hewitt needed 25 pitches to get out of that inning. What will Freezie Adames do here today against a Kitchener Panthers lineup that is first in runs scored here in 2026? That's going to be the question.
First in runs scored, and when you look at it even from a per game perspective to try and get some context with how many more games the Panthers have played, 6.3 runs per game. That is the second most in the CBL this season. They also have the highest OPS, over 830, versus the Cardinals mentioned came in with the third lowest OPS, although I'm sure that number will creep up if they keep getting production from guys like Tyler Duncan in that first inning.
So here comes Matteo Zeppieri to lead things off here in the bottom of the first. And, the Kitchener Panthers, if we've known anything about them so far this season, they tend to go down early on. And then they have the comeback kid syndrome injected into their veins, it seems, because they know how to come back with the best of them, that is for sure. Although yesterday, they poured it on early and often.
Yeah, that 3-0 lead early on, and a 3-0 lead against Chatham-Kent as well on Friday night. So after their first 6 games of the season, the Panthers had fallen behind in each and every one of them. Came back to win 3 of them. But it's good to see them over the weekend play with the lead for a bit and give their starting pitcher a bit of run support. And overall, you got to think that's what helped Evan Elliott pitch deep into that game Friday, as well as Quintana yesterday at Hastings Stadium.
2-1 count here on Zeppieri. Adamas deals. Gets a piece of it. Evens the count at 2-2. Zeppieri adjusting the equipment, the accoutrement of baseball. As that one's put right over to Brandon Nickel, and he'll make the line drive catch, although not really too hard of a hit baseball there from Matteo Zeppieri. Let's take a look at the defense playing in behind Freezie Adamas for the Hamilton Cardinals. Angel Guerrero, Duncan, and Pena are out in the outfield. You just saw Nickel over at short. Reyes, Feliz, Herman, and then McGill is in behind home plate here today. Now this will bring up Petey Kiefer. Swings and misses at that offering for strike number 1. Kiefer, 3 singles in yesterday's game. Was one of the 6 runs to cross the plate in that 6th inning against Guelph. That one way inside. No, they're going to call that one a strike. So Adamas has been really working the inside of the strike zone. The offering from Adamas, and again, looking for that inside. But that one just off the plate.
And Petey Kiefer, arguably one of the hottest hitters, not just in the Panthers lineup, but in the Canadian Baseball League right now. He's played in all 9 games and an OPS up over 1,100. Mentioned the 3-hit day yesterday. Goes down swinging that time, but he has been a big reason for the Panthers' success early in the season.
Well, as mentioned, he had that 3-hit game yesterday, was part of that heart of the order that had 10 of the Panthers' 16 hits. Here comes Rafi Gross, who had a triple in yesterday's ball game.
Gross was another one of the big offseason acquisitions that we kind of wondered where he would fit into this Panthers lineup. Saw a couple of the games early in the season, didn't start in the outfield, but he's kind of forced his way in there. And OPS up over 1,100 on the year. Already 2 homers. And you mentioned, of course, the 3-bagger earlier this weekend.
Well, he hit it right into triple territory in Guelph. Just that one gap where you can get around the bases. You get a guy with a little bit of extra speed on top of it. That could have been an inside the Parker. Gross with an 0-2 counts. Adamas steals. Chopper down the line. That's going to go foul.
Gross very much in the hole now in this at bat, but good job going down and getting that pitch. One of those ones that starts in the strike zone and starts to dip below. Can be really hard to lay off and doesn't want to get rung up on 3 strikes. So just chops it away and forces Adamas to deal once again.
5 for 19 to start the year is Gross. The 0-2 and just missing on the outside that time. Puts the count at 1-2.
Good take from Gross. He's got a good eye at the plate this season. Mentioned he hasn't even hit the 19 at-bats yet, but does have 3 walks already, and of course the extra base hits to go along with it.
That one goes into the dirt. Good block by McGill. Adamas coming in later in the season, a year ago. Former Milwaukee Brewer, playing in their farm system. Made it to single A ball in 2019. Adamas taking his time. And they're going to call for time just for a quick moment, as Rafi Gross might have had a little bit of a cramp in the leg waiting that long. Here comes the 2-2. Swings, and that's going to be strike 3. Couple of strikeouts for Freezie Adames, and the Hamilton Cardinals lead Kitchener 1-0. 15 pitches needed for Adames through 1. We'll be back on the other side. Stay with us. You're watching KPTV Live. Hamilton 1, Kitchener no score.
Let me into my zone, let me into my zone. Please don't let me into my zone, let me into my zone. Let me into my zone, let me into my zone. Please don't let me in. Yeah. Can't answer my phone now, just leave it there at that tone. Ballin', can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now. Cause I'm back in my zone now.
Welcome back to KPTV Live. Top of the second. Bottom of the order due up here for the Hamilton Cardinals. Angel Guerrero will take strike 1. That'll miss down in the zone for ball number 1. Ben Hewitt on the bump with the pitch there, and Guerrero swings and gets a slight piece of it.
Guerrero, one of the off-season acquisitions, one of the imports brought in, and a younger player on this Cardinals roster, but expect him to be one of the main outfielders throughout this season.
There is a strikeout there of Guerrero. Couple of Ks swinging for Ben Hewitt in this one.
And good to see him get some swing and miss, and early on, first time through the order. Mentioned when we saw him come in Thursday against London, late in that game, he only threw 24 pitches and got 3 swings and misses, but that number's looking a lot higher so far early on, and Panthers are going to need him to keep that going if they're going to have a chance to make it 3-1 in the 4-game stretch.
That one missing on the outside for Evan McGill. As mentioned, good Canadian boy coming onto the roster. Former member of Monroe Community College, played some NJCAA Division II ball as he puts that one high, deep into left field. It's going all the way back, and that is gone. Evan McGill goes yard to make it 2-0.
Another big fly ball. That one took Zeppieri straight to the wall in left field. Looked like he might have had a chance to pull that one back, but Evan McGill, the fly ball to the opposite field, just keeps on carrying for his first CBL home run.
2 solo shots for the Hamilton Cardinals, and we talked about it earlier on. Just the 1 home run for the team coming into today. Well, they've already tripled that amount, and we're only into the 2nd inning.
Tripled that, and McGill came in just 1 for 15 on the season. That's just his 2nd hit on the year, and what a way to do it in style. A solo shot to double Hamilton's lead early on.
Here's Yoki Pena. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one missing on the outside.
That's a nice thing about having someone direct that knows the
Setting up inside is Ibarra. There's a swing and a miss. Good cut on that one as Pena swings over top the baseball.
Oh, big man Pena at the plate, and Hewitt recognizes that, elevates the fastball to a spot where he's not going to be able to get it.
Fouls that one back. And all the way and lands on the roof of the Panthers dugout.
It's funny seeing the differences in parks throughout the league. Obviously, the fences here at Jack Couch Park are one of the big conversations, 2 home runs today, but in Hamilton, one of the big ones is how much room there is in foul territory. A play like that, third baseman might have a beat on.
There's a swing and a miss. Third swing and strikeout for Ben Hewitt.
Ben Hewitt overall has looked pretty good. I mean, a couple walks in the first inning and has given up the solo homers, so he's gotten hit hard, but the swing and miss he's been getting has been encouraging. It's just a matter of dialing that in and limiting the mistake pitches, especially when he faces strong hitters like this one.
And Tyler Duncan, a no-doubter. Look out for the houses on Ottawa Street, that's for sure. Want to try to reel that in, as that is strike 1 on the center fielder. He knows how to hit the home run. Remember, he is a 2-time home run derby champion. That one missing on the outside.
The 2 home runs for the Cardinals today, both from the left side of the plate. Something to maybe keep an eye on later in the year if Ben Hewitt maybe struggles against hitters from that side.
And that one in and out of the glove of Ibarra, under the zone. 2-1 count. Setting up outside. Swings and misses for strike number 2.
This is where you really look for Hewitt to dial it in. Don't leave anything over the heart of the plate. This is where you got to be really fine against a good hitter.
That'll miss inside. Puts the count full at 3-2.
Try to get him with that fastball, one that kind of breaks down in towards your feet, but Duncan, obviously such a professional hitter, does not bite at that one.
Puts that one high. It's going all the way to the fence. Seppieri looking up, and he's going to make the catch right on the warning track. That one had a lot of carry to it, and that is going to end the inning. Another home run for the Hamilton Cardinals as they make it 2-0 over the Kitchener Panthers.
Evan McGill with the solo blast, another one from the left side of the plate for the Cardinals in the top half of that second inning. That time Hewitt only had to face one more than the minimum, but the only problem is when that one other hitter is giving up a solo home run, puts your team behind even more. The Panthers have not had problems scoring runs this season, and hopefully the lineup doesn't take as long to wake up. I know I've seen throughout the year sometimes it's taken a bit longer for them to get going 2 or 3 times through the order. Don't know if they'll have that much time to work with today, especially facing such a lights-out starter on the mound in Freezie Adames.
Well, I think the whole thing is just trying to figure out his his sequencing, the pitch calling. If you remember in that game at Bernie Arbor, it did take Kitchener a little bit to get through, but I think once you start seeing the Panthers the second time around the order, the third time around the order, and they start figuring out that pitch sequencing, that's when they tend to strike. And we'll see if that's going to be the case once again here today. Although with all the teams in this league hitting early and often, you really got to cut those habits out and really start getting things off the hop here.
Absolutely, and I mean, got to be curious what kind of leash Luis Bernardo is going to have for Freezie Adamas today. Got to imagine he's going to want him to pitch deep into this game because we talk about the Panthers playing 4 games in 4 days and how much that taxes the bullpen. The Cardinals, they're still playing 3 games in 3 days. They're also somewhat up against it on their third starter of the weekend. So got to imagine that they need Adamas to pitch into the 6th inning like he did last time. So if you're the Panthers, that means you're probably going to get 2 or 3 at-bats off of him, and hopefully as the hitters see him for a third time through the order, or ideally second time through the order, they can pounce and get things going for the offense.
Well, one guy that could do that is Yasvani Penalve, as he will step into the batter's box. 3 singles and a double. Reached base all 5 at-bats, or all 5 plate appearances yesterday. He was also hit by a pitch. As he was named the Panthers player of the game with his performance. First pitch takes for strike 1.
Penalve is a guy that the Panthers are going to lean on heavily this year, picking up right where he left off. Not exactly a power hitter, but just solid, can still find the wall here and there. And as you mentioned yesterday, the perfect 4-for-4 day. Just always seems to be on base and causes a lot of trouble for opposing pitchers.
Took one way inside there. Just his elusiveness is, you can just see the athleticism in it. 0-1. That one is going to get through and into center field. Base hit for Penalve as he picks up where he left off.
Now 5 for his last 5, and anytime you can get the leadoff man on, especially when your team's trailing, sometimes lights a fire under the next couple of guys to the plate. And even more fitting for the Panthers, they've got a veteran stepping up now in Junior Ibarra.
Well, he had a hitting streak to start the year, did Penalve. It was snapped against London on Thursday, but yeah, like you mentioned, 5 hits ever since. 5 for 8 in that stretch. As that one's going to go right into Reyes. Not even thinking about going to second. He'll just get the one over at first to retire Ibarra.
Yeah, that hit and run works out real well, and we saw Ibarra involved in one of them Thursday against London that ended up manufacturing a run for the Panthers. That time, Penalve in motion on the windup, and otherwise, Ibarra's probably grounding into a double play there if he's not in motion. So the small things here and there. Now instead of bases empty, 2 out, you got a runner in scoring position for a power hitter lefty with only 1 away.
So former Hamilton Cardinal Josh Williams played for the Cards the last 2 seasons. Had a healthy year last year. Of course, talked about his injury troubles on the CBL Changeup podcast just a couple of weeks ago, and was happy to have a healthy season last year. And of course, now getting to play with his brother Malik also helps matters too. It's Penalve dancing over at second base.
Your fans wanting a balk there, but Adamas did step off. Gotta like the move from Penalve, trying to make Adamas second guess himself before each pitch.
There's a big swing and a miss from Josh. Of course, former London Major, former Welland Jackfish as well. I think that qualifies him for suitcase territory.
Absolutely.
The 0-1. That one is going to go right across for a strike. Home plate umpire took a moment there to think about it, but calls it a strike.
Yeah, it seems like the plate umpire and Josh Williams got crossed up on that one. He was clearly sitting fastball, and the breaking ball just had his knees buckle for an 0-2 count.
Keeps an extra eye on the second base runner, and he'll throw one upstairs for ball 1.
This is sometimes where you ask a hitter to do something a little different than what you usually ask. Obviously, Williams a big power bat, but in a 2-strike count here and your team desperately needing a run, maybe ask him to take a bit of a shorter swing approach.
That one's going to be fouled back.
That's exactly the kind of approach you want to see. A pitch up and away. Going to be awfully tough to put that one in play. Just fouls it back and hopes that Adamas leaves him a mistake over the heart of the plate.
Williams and his brother Malik have been exchanging time over at first base, getting in some DH time as well. Throw back into second, and he's in there safely. Just barely, though. Really keeping an eye on Yasvani Penalve as he was a little bit too far for the pitcher's liking.
Yeah, Nickel did a really good job kind of sneaking in behind him. Obviously has to play on the left side of that second base bag, but he sneaks around him on the other side to receive that throw, and I think it kind of caught Penalve by surprise.
Swings and misses. And that'll be a strikeout. Third strikeout of the game for Freezie Adamas.
Yeah, you could tell Josh Williams really wanted a fastball in that at bat. He loves to get his arms extended on those, but Adamas gets him 2 strikes on a breaking ball up in the zone and then buries one down low on another 2-strike count to finish him off and get a huge second out.
Zane Scansey now the batter. He is in the DH hole today as the Gig Harbor, Washington native will step in for the first time. But now with 2 outs, a bit of a different approach, I would imagine, for the Kitchener Panthers, at least when it comes to Penalve over at second, as there's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Probably not wanting to go as far off of second base as you were with 1 out.
Well, no, especially now with 2 outs, no matter what. Penalve will be moving on contact, so anything that drops in the outfield should bring him home.
Adamas steals, swing and a miss for strike 2.
Boy, that slider is nasty so far today for Freezie Adamas. We saw it on full display in that last at-bat to Josh Williams, and now he's way ahead in the count after getting Scansey to swing and miss at the slider.
Adamas looking to finish things off here. Here's the 0-2. That's going to go to Feliz. Gets it on a 2-hopper over to first in time. And that'll do it. Panthers get a runner on base, but nothing else as the Hamilton Cardinals lead 2-0 as we go to break. We'll be back on the other side. Stay with us. You are watching KPTV Live.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
Welcome back to KPTV Live. Into the third inning we go. Mark Perry, Ian Jodrey here with you. Ben Hewitt getting set for his third inning of work. Would like not to give up a home run this time around. He's given up a couple of solo shots in this game, and that is the only score we see on the board thus far.
Yeah, the 2 solo shots and needing 25 and 20 pitches, respectively, to get through the first 2 innings. So, 2 things he'd love to see change. Did see some good things from him in that second inning, aside from the solo homer. Got a couple swing and miss, couple strikeouts, which is up from what we've seen from him earlier in the year, but that's a difference from coming out of the pen to starting. You're going to need a whole lot of that for 5 to 6 innings.
Herman is the batter as he fouls that one back. A couple of back-to-back foul balls into the parking lot here at Couch.
Seen Hewitt work with a 0-2 count a few times today and lose the batter. That's something you definitely want to see a young pitcher work on as the game progresses.
Oh, and misses on the outside. Herman, a former member of the Dominican national team, played at the Central American and Caribbean games back in 2018. He fouls that one. If there's no fence there, I think that one's coming for us. Although there is a baseball lodged in the fence. Didn't have that on Thursday. Might have been something that happened in the last 48 hours here. As Herman will put that one through the hole between the shortstop and the third baseman, and there's another base hit for the Cardinals.
And now Hewitt's going to have to deal with traffic on the base pass, which we saw in the first inning was able to dance out of trouble despite issuing those 2 walks, but never ideal giving up a leadoff single, and now he's got to face a lefty as well in Anderson Feliz.
Feliz walked his last time up, was later stranded over at second as Ben Hewitt finds the strike zone on the outside for strike 1.
Great fastball location there from Hewitt. If he can continue to pound that spot all day, he'll have a ton of success.
That one downstairs into the dirt.
The way Hewitt's been attacking hitters, everything's right in terms of working the quadrants and mixing up the eye level of the hitter. It's just the execution that hasn't been there on a few moments. Junior Ibarra has done him a couple favors behind the plate, back-to-back pitches in the dirt, and Ibarra with a good block there to keep it in front of him with the runner on.
Just the 4th game for Feliz in a in a Cardinals uniform as he puts that one high and deep to center field, and Gross is just going to watch that one go. Another home run, this time with traffic on the base path. Anderson Feliz makes it 4-0.
Well, I have figured out the Hamilton Cardinals home run issue, and it's that they just have to play more at Jack Couch Park because their hits are flying off the bats here early on this afternoon in Kitchener. 3rd home run of the day, and that one, another no-doubter.
Well, that's been the historic problem of the Kitchener Panthers, where they know how to hit the home runs, but they have to realize in this ballpark, the visitors can do it just the same, and you got to match that.
Dimensions are the same, and so far the Cardinals are using it to their advantage.
So that'll be the first CBL home run for Anderson Feliz and continues his streak. A hit in all 4 games he has appeared in. And here is Jaden Brown, struck out his last time up. The block there by Ibarra.
Not exactly a well-executed pitch, but crossed up Brown well enough to make him look foolish on that swing, and now a bit of an opportunity for Hewitt. Really looking for that first out.
The 0-2 will put that one into the seats. Parking lot to the right of us, smartly empty. Let's put it that way. The 0-2 swings and misses. Strike 3. 4 Ks, all of them of the swinging variety for Ben Hewitt.
And another one that he buried in the dirt after being up 0-2 in the count. And throughout the first couple innings of this game, we've seen the Cardinals hitters doing a good job laying off that pitch, but down 0-2, Jaden Brown has to be a lot more aggressive with his swing, and a great job by Hewitt to bury that one, give him no chance of putting it in play for the first out.
So here comes Brandon Nickel. A walk in the first inning as he puts one high. This one is going deep into left field, and that one is going to go as well. A fourth home run for the Hamilton Cardinals, and they have taken a 5-0 lead as Brandon Nickel goes yard.
Well, for a team that had been having trouble scoring runs, those questions have all been answered here in the first 3 innings today. My, oh my, another one off the bat of Brandon Nickel, another one off the bat of the Cardinals, and they are feeling good and swinging good here on this Sunday afternoon.
Now, to imagine that you're probably going to see some activity in the dugout. Yes, rather in the bullpen. And yes, I do see somebody getting warmed up for the Panthers as Reyes takes strike one, swinging. It's Ben Hewitt giving up the long ball quite a bit here in this game. That'll miss downstairs, 1-1.
Gotta wonder what this means for the Panthers pitching staff, the next couple weeks of the season. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of scenarios where you'll need a fourth starter in a single week, so they might not need Hewitt necessarily, and he's been really good coming out of the bullpen. There might be a situation in the year where you're forced to give him another start, and he's certainly going to have some things to work on for that next time through.
That'll miss way outside. Reyes 0 for 1. The 27-year-old. Chop down the line. That's a fair ball. Fuji throwing over to first and in time. 2 away. A great play by Fuji, getting it over to Josh Williams.
Well, just such a tough play to even get to that ball in the first place. It's one of those choppers down the line that's spinning away from Fuji and carrying him into shallow left field and foul territory, then has to make a long throw. And Rainy Reyes runs pretty well, but able to get it over to Williams on one hop. Nice job. Give Hewitt a bit of confidence here with 2 down now.
Well, with 2 down, here's Angel Guerrero. He'll sky one high. Left field. And it's going to stay fair. Zeppieri gets underneath it. He'll make the catch. But a pair of home runs and 3 more on the board for the Hamilton Cardinals as they have taken a 5-0 lead. And the Panthers have some climbing to do here on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, they certainly got their work cut out for them. We've seen them come back from large deficits throughout the season. In fact, it was earlier this week in Barrie when they trailed 5-0 and rallied in the 7th inning, ended up tying that game, sending it to extras, had the go-ahead run 90 feet away, couldn't bring him home. And, of course, it was Yasuke Fuji's error at third base that ended the game and let the Baycats walk it off. Then Fuji had the day off on Thursday against London, but his 3rd straight game back in the lineup, has had some troubles offensively. He will lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Panthers, but talked about this Kitchener lineup and how strong they've been overall, have been scoring a ton of runs this season, highest OPS in the league, but it has been opposites day in terms of offensive production. The Cardinals doing everything, 3 home runs, 5 runs in the first 3 innings, while the Panthers have only had 1 runner reach second base so far. That 1 base runner came last inning when Yosvani Penalve led things off with a single before the Panthers then went down in order.
Well, we're starting to get into the territory where we're going to start seeing guys the second time around here on Freezie Adamas. What are you noticing in just his sequencing and delivery that the Panthers can, maybe start to jump on here?
Throws a lot of first pitch strikes. And, last game we talked about the Panthers and their really patient approach, how they draw a lot of walks and then do damage on the base pass. You might not have that opportunity with Freezie Adamas. And I feel like the Panthers, when they were facing London on Thursday, as the game went on, they did a good job kind of hopping on those first pitches and catching the London defense off guard. Might take a bit more of an aggressive style at the plate because it doesn't look like Adames is going to be issuing a ton of free passes.
So Yosuke Fuji, and you talked about it in our pregame there, Ian, a guy that you're really keeping an eye on.
Just so versatile for this team, not just at the plate, but on the infield, as you saw last time. Through a switch hitter, you can kind of plug him in throughout the order. Hit in the 8th spot, and he'll have his opportunity to work his way back up. Obviously, a tough start to the season, tough last couple of games now, 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts since he had that day off on Thursday, but such a talented hitter and talented ball player overall. Won't take a lot for him to get going and get back in motion to what we saw a year ago.
Here comes the 2-0. That one's sent high. It's going deep, all the way to the fence. Pena looking, it's gone! It's a home run parade here at the couch on a Sunday afternoon as the Kitchener Panthers get in on the act. Yosuke Fuji goes yard to put the home side on the board.
Well, I think the slump is over. It only takes one to get things going, and Yosuke Fuji, a high fly ball that might not have gotten over the wall at many ballparks around the CBL, but at Jack Couch Park, that is more than enough for his first of the season.
Put the Panthers mask on, young man, as you have put the Panthers on the board. Yosuke Fuji with a towering shot. A fence scraper over in right field. Is that the kickstart they need? As Charlie Towers will step in for the first time today.
If anything, at least brings some life into the dugout, gets the guys buzzing and up and watching the game again. And I think if anything, also it shows, hey, Freezie Adames, very good pitcher, not untouchable. He is hittable. And even for a guy like Fuji, who had been slumping over the weekend, he busts out of it in a big way.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 3 as Charlie Towers goes down. And again, a lot of swinging strikeouts between Adames and Hewitt here today.
Absolutely. And we saw Adames his last time out. Mentioned he only needed 63 pitches to get through 6 innings against the Barnstormers. 41 of them strikes, 17 whiffs. Very high rate.
There's a swing and a miss from Matteo Zeppieri. As now we're through into the second time around the order here for the Kitchener Panthers. The 0-1 gets a piece of it. And when you think about the swinging strikeouts, do you feel like it's a little bit more of the approach of the batters wanting to be a little bit more aggressive in a shorter ballpark here, or is it just the heat that's being shown here from the pitchers?
I think you got it goes more to the batters, and they know what they're capable of, and they know they're very good situational hitters. That's what they study. And, you know, it also, I think, has to do with the pitcher that they're facing and the style and the way that he attacks you.
Well, speaking of which, there's another swinging strikeout. 2 Ks here in the third, and that'll bring up Petey Kiefer.
19 whiffs now for Adames. That's a season high, and he's only thrown 2 2/3 innings. So he has the Panthers waving and missing at a whole lot of what he has to offer so far this afternoon.
Kiefer will take a strike as it just clips the inside edge. Well, Adames, 7 strikeouts his last time out, went 6 innings against Chatham Kent back on the 22nd.
And similar to today, his offense picked him up early on and let him pitch with the lead, pitch with run support. And when you can pitch freely like that, it just does so much for your confidence in how you can attack a hitter, because even if you give up a solo shot to Yosuke Fuji in that situation, you're still working with a 4-run cushion.
The 0-2. That one's put into center field, and easy play for Tyler Duncan. And that'll end the inning. But Yosuke Fuji puts the Panthers on the board. They're down by 4 through 3 here at the couch. You're watching KPTV Live, Hamilton 5, Kitchener 1, the 4th on the other side.
If you can't be at the ballpark to pick up some swag, remember, you can get your gear online. We have Berlin Keg Tappers gear with your name on it. Just make sure to scan that QR code and start shopping right now.
Top of the fourth here at the couch, a 5-1 lead for the Hamilton Cardinals as there's a big swing and a miss from Evan McGill. New pitcher into the ball game as Elian Serrata takes over for Ben Hewitt.
Yeah, tough day for Hewitt. Goes just to 3 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 strikeouts. So some swing and miss, some positivity to look forward to. But those 4 home runs are going to be circled big time on the box score. Only threw 65 pitches, 40 of them for strikes, but left a lot of them over the heart of the plate. And that's why the Cardinals have such a comfortable lead early on.
So Serrata will look to pick things up here as Evan McGill was one of the batters to hit a homer his last time up. That one missing inside.
And McGill was a guy who came in, a rookie in this league, one of the younger guys who they expect to be the starting catcher throughout the season, but still kind of finding his own at the plate to start the year. Was just 1 for 15 before that home run, but that'll certainly get the confidence going.
That one catches Junior, but he blocks it nicely, and it'll stay in front of him. Full counts. Here's the 3-2. That one missing on the outside, and McGill will take a walk.
So Serrata issues the leadoff walk, and this is his second time this week into a ball game. On Thursday we wondered, hey, would one of these starters maybe pitch twice? Serrata did get the start Tuesday in Barrie. Now back on the mound through 77 pitches in that one. So talking with Pete Kiefer, who's kind of wondering how he would react to throwing that many pitches and whether he'd be good to go. Well, we have our answer. He's into the ball game.
2 other games happening in the CBL as that one's going to get by the first baseman, and getting over to third is McGill. As just an errant throw as Yolki Pena will get on safely.
And everything out of sorts there for the Panthers. Pena gets the bunt down, just trying to move McGill over. Then Ibarra throws the ball away. He has to go over and cover third as McGill is making the turn to get over there. But in the meantime, no one else is coming in to cover home. So a good heads-up play from Ibarra, getting back to the dish. Otherwise, McGill might have been able to just turn and score easily without a throw.
Well, other games happening in the CBL today. Bottom 6, Chatham over Brantford 5-0. And that's the same score line at Christie Pitts, bottom of the 4th, as the Welland Jackfish have a lead on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Way outside, and a snow cone catch from Junior Ibarra prevents a run from coming in. Serrata gets set. That one's going to be fouled back.
Duncan's looked dangerous so far in the early going. Obviously, the moonshot leadoff home run, and then a long fly ball to deep left field that sends Zepier to the warning track, and he's in a position to do more damage here.
That one goes in on the hands, throw into first in time. They're not going to go for home, and the Cardinals will take a 6-1 lead.
Yeah, I think that's a missed opportunity from Serrata. Obviously, the ideal situation there is you can turn and fire to second and start a double play, but the way he bobbled it also meant the runner at third, McGill, had to hold up. Think he would have had plenty of time to throw home and cut down a runner. Obviously, then you get the runner in a rundown situation so other runners can move up. I understand the mentality of getting the sure out, but when you're giving back a run in a situation like this, already down 5, it means even bigger things are going to have to come from the Panthers offense.
And here's Evan McGill. Here is Darlin Herman. Evan McGill led things off. He was the one that crossed the plate as Herman will foul that one back. Herman 1 for 2 on the day. Fouls that one back. No balls, 2 strikes. We got a lot of people in attendance just lining the sides, playing in behind each of the respective dugouts. A lot of blue mixed in with some red, and that's strike 3. Herman goes down.
Nasty breaking ball, and Herman knew it all the way, just buckled him at the knees, was looking for a fastball middle in. Instead, Serrata goes with that slider that drops into the heart of the zone. Fools Herman completely for a big second out.
Well, that'll bring up Anderson Feliz. So they are going to chart that error on the play on the Pena at bat. That's going to be charged to Serrata. That one missing on the outside. So it's going to be the throwing error on the pitcher. That's how that one is scored. So Anderson Feliz has a runner on base. Has gone yard already as he swings over top that baseball.
And Feliz is still trying to figure out his swing earlier in the season coming into this game. 3 of 13, did not have an extra base hit, but he put that all behind him with that big 2-run shot in his last at-bat.
Takes a cut at that one, was looking to go for a second one on the day. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count here on Feliz. He walked back in the first inning. Serrata deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. They'll retire the side, but one more run comes in to score, and the Hamilton Cardinals have a 6-1 lead on the Kitchener Panthers as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, and it's one of those runs that feels like it was really avoidable. Obviously, walking the leadoff batter was Serrata, lost Evan McGill. Then the bunt that he fielded and just threw it away, and then a mess came of it with Pena advancing to second on the play, McGill getting all the way over to first, and Ibarra having to get back and cover the plate after he was up covering the bag at third base. The Panthers infield did not rotate accordingly. They were lucky to give up a run there and then unlucky to give up a run on the very next batter when Duncan chopped one right back to the mound. Serrata bobbled it momentarily. That brought in McGill from third base. Thought he probably would have had a chance to make the play and cut down the run at home, but took the sure out, gives up a run. So the Panthers once again find themselves down by 5. But overall, after those first 2 batters, Serrata looked a lot more comfortable facing the meat of that Cardinals order with Herman and Feliz both going down by way of the K.
Well, a good productive day here for Francis Adames. He'll look to continue it as he'll have to face Gross, Pinalde, and Ibarra here in the 4th inning. And this is where the Panthers here really need to start getting your foot on the gas pedal.
These are some of the guys that you want up there doing it. Rafi Gross has shown a decent amount of power over this 4-game stretch. We've really seen him start to drive the ball well. Yosvani Pinalbe, we know what he can do. 5 for his last 5. He tried to get a rally going in his last at-bat, and then the veteran Junior Ibarra. It'll be their second time seeing Adames. Maybe start to pick up on some tendencies and get something going for this Kitchener offense.
He has been throwing the ball well. That is for sure. As here comes Rafi Gross for the second time today. He struck out swinging back in the first.
As mentioned, Gross already with 2 home runs on the season, and they've both come during this 4-game stretch. So 2 long balls in 3 days for him.
Pitch count now at 44 here for Adames. The 1-0 in on the hands, and That'll be fouled back by Gross. As mentioned, Gross, a hot hitter as of late. A really good weekend. A 1-1 swing and a miss. A couple of home runs on his ledger. We mentioned that triple he had yesterday.
I mean, anytime you're getting that kind of power production from your center fielder, that's a manager's dream. He has been swinging a hot bat since getting to Kitchener.
McGill sets up outside. That one goes into the dirt. 2-2. A lot of communication on the infield. Trying to close up some gaps. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Another swinging strikeout for Freezie Adamas.
No shortage of swing and miss here today from one of the best in the Cardinals rotation. He's been getting it done both with the fastball, but that breaking ball down in the dirt has just been fooling Panthers hitters left, right, and center.
I'll bring up Yasmani Pinalve. I mean, you think about this rotation for Hamilton. My goodness. You combine Freezie Adamas with last year's MVP and Owen Boone.
That's a 1-2 punch, especially when you think about getting into the playoffs and just how big of a weapon it is. And then you add in Hector Yan, a big offseason acquisition. It's a very deep rotation and going to be awfully tough to deal with in a short series.
That one right across the heart of the plate for a strike. Pinalve 1 for 1 with a single. More conversation on the infield. As the shortstop going a little bit closer to second base. The 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
For the most part today, Adamas has been locating that slider in the lower half of the zone, just burying that pitch. That time he runs it in on the hands to Pinalve and just unable to get the bat head around fast enough to connect with it. Great pitch.
Here comes the 1-2. That one missing on the outside.
Good take when you see those sliders that keep dropping each pitch, and then you go with that fastball upstairs. Lots of times, as a hitter, your instinct is to sit back on it and time it, but a fastball that time from Adamas, hoping that Pinalve would wave at it, but a good take keeps the count alive for Yasmani Pinalve.
Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Strike through. No.
Evan McGill just unable to squeeze that one. Almost had another K.
So Pinalve stays alive here.
That's part of the risk you run as a pitcher when you live in that bottom of the zone, especially pitches that get buried in the dirt. If you ever get a foul tip, it's a lot easier for your catcher to come up with it cleanly when they're not also trying to pick it off the ground.
Gets a piece of that one.
Same thing happened twice in a row now.
Just battling here is Yasmani Pinalve.
Now Adamas has buried a couple in the dirt for him. Gotta wonder if he goes back there again or if he tries to change Pinalve's eye level again and get him to chase one upstairs.
And that's strike 3, pinging the inside edge. And that is strikeout number 7 for Adamas here this afternoon.
And it's those mind games once again. Adamas going breaking ball in the dirt over and over. Elevated the fastball at one point, so Pinalve probably looking for something up in the zone. Instead, Adamas just paints the bottom corner with the fastball, freezes Pinalve, who's such a good hitter, has such a good approach every time he's up there, and that's a big second out.
That'll bring up Junior Ibarra. That'll miss upstairs. 1-0. That'll miss downstairs. 2-0. Changing the eye level, as you mentioned on the last batter. That one there. Working
Yeah,
all quadrants there.
two straight fastballs to Ibarra to start this at bat. First time misses upstairs. That time he had the one that kind of tails in towards your feet, hoping that he would wave and miss at it, but a good take from Junior. And again there.
Takes again, my goodness.
So 2 fastballs and a slider, and all of them right around the strike zone, especially the last 2. So great job from Ibarra laying off that last pitch, and now he's going to force Adames to groove one in there.
And missing on the inside, and Ibarra will take a 4-pitch walk. And this is what you need if you're the Panthers. They haven't had much in terms of base runners. This is kind of the opportunity that they're hoping for. A big bat like Josh Williams coming to the plate with a guy on base.
Yeah, and Adames finally issues a free pass. So you talk about this Kitchener offense being a team that's incredibly patient at the plate and draws a lot of walks. K came into the day with 39. That's the most in the CBL. So Junior Ibarra gets the 40th walk of the season, keeps the inning alive. And like you said, Mark, with a power bat coming up, can get Kitchener back in it with one swing.
Williams struck out swinging his last time up. You really saw he wanted to get a hold of a baseball, as he will take strike 1 on the outside.
You can see the frustration there from Williams. Got a fastball. He was looking for one all of last at bat. He gets one middle out there, just caught the outside part of the zone, and probably frustrated he didn't take a crack at it.
That'll miss for ball 1.
Clearly wanting to keep this ball away from Josh Williams is Freezie Adames. Back-to-back fastballs away from the big lefty. Let's see if Williams can bait him to throw one on the inner half of the plate and potentially turn on it.
Swing, he got a piece of it, but not enough, as that's strike 2. "61 pitches now for Adames, and you'd really like to see that stretched out a little bit more if you're the Panthers. Adames has had himself quite the game. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. 8 strikeouts for Freezie Adames. We are through 4 here at the couch, and the Hamilton Cardinals have a 6-1 lead on the Kitchener Panthers. Stay with us. We'll be back with the 5th inning on the other side.
What I look for in Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything. It's good to get that feel in your hands, and when you have a Rowling, it's more easy to catch. Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred.
I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. It never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand, and it's a mark of a pro.
Bet your tickets now for Kitchener Panthers baseball. We have a lot going on in our first professional season. Theme nights, giveaways, much, much more as well. We are the hottest ticket in town this summer. Single game tickets and flex packs on sale now. Kitchener Panthers trailing this one 6-1 to the Hamilton Cardinals as we come into the 5th inning here on a Sunday afternoon. Scan that QR code, brings you right to the ticket. I know we just scanned it as well, so we know it works.
Sure does. No excuses.
Serrata, his first offering to Jaden Brown is going to be fouled back.
Strada's looked real good in the early going when the Panthers have called upon him. A couple relief appearances and then got the start on Tuesday in Barrie, so shown that he can be versatile, whether it's a low leverage, long relief situation or simply being a starter, and really looked like he settled in after giving up the leadoff walk last inning.
The 1-1 is going to go into the dirt. Final line on Ben Hewitt today. 3 innings of work, gave up 5 runs, all of them earned on 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Of course, 4 of those 5 runs scored on home runs, as that one is going to miss just below the strike zone. The 3-1 is going to be fouled back. And a reminder for those that weren't able to make today's game, maybe wanting to do a half day of Super Sports Kitchener Sunday. It is free admission at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Puck drop is at 7 o'clock in Kelowna, BC, as the Kitchener Rangers take on the Everett Silvertips, as there's a strikeout of Jaden Brown. 3rd strikeout of the game for Jaden Brown.
And 3rd strikeout in a row for Elian Serrata. Got the last 2 to cap off that 4th inning and picks up where he left off. Fell behind in the count against Jaden Brown, but good job battling back. Freezes him with the slider and gets a big first out.
Well, here comes Brandon Nickel, 1 for 1 with a home run. Look out on that one, ball 1. There's a swing and a miss. Fooms, BC native. Pops one up. Shallow left field. Kiefer calling for it. Kiefer makes the catch. 2 away.
Good sequence from Serrata in that at bat. He starts him off with the slider that starts in the zone and finishes at the knees for strike 1, and then elevates with the fastball and just runs it in on the hands of Nickel, pops it up, and Nickel's shown he's got some pop, so good job by Serrata to retire him for the first time this afternoon.
That one missing upstairs. Here on Rainy Reyes.
And of course, we did see Serrata go up and into Nickel to start that at bat, kind of sent him out of the batter's box. He's not scared to attack that inner half of the plate, and he gets a lot of success while he's working there too.
2-0 counts. Serrata offers. That one's going to go across for a strike. Serrata gets the sign, and that one is scooped up by Ibarra. Good count here for the 3rd baseman of the Hamilton Cardinals, 3-1. And that's going to miss inside, and Reyes will get on base for the first time today.
Good pitch mix from Serrata that time. Like the way that he was going after Rainy Reyes. It was just the execution that wasn't there, and the location wasn't in a spot where he was going to be able to pick up any strikes. Gives up the walk, but had the right idea.
Well, that'll bring up Angel Guerrero. 0 for 2 today, and now with a man on base. That'll miss inside. Downstairs. It's the La Romana, Dominican Republic native. He puts that one high and deep. It's going all the way to the fence, and that one's going to go. 5 dingers for the Cardinals. 8-1.
Baseballs have just kept flying out of the yard here at Jack Couch Park this afternoon. It was Ben Hewitt who gave up the first 4, and then Elian Serrata left one over the heart of the plate, and Angel Guerrero got all of that fastball, absolutely crushed it. He was right on it to dead center field, and good enough for his first CBL home run.
As he celebrates with his teammates at the dugout. Maybe we're in Colorado, it seems, because the home runs, it's thin air up here. That baseball, not too much in terms of resistance once it comes off the bat. Evan McGill is now the batter.
5 of the 9 Cardinals hitters already with home runs today, and McGill is one of them. I like the way that Serrata started this inning. Obviously, the good pitch mix to Jaden Brown froze him, then induced some soft contact, got Brandon Nickel to pop up, then just lost Rainy Reyes and was forced to throw one over the heart of the plate to Angel Guerrero, and he made all of that Serrata mistake.
3-1 counts. That's a swing and a miss. Puts the count at 3-2. Well, safe to say, Ian, and we'll get into it in the middle part of this inning, but that one's going to be sent high, deep, playable, and right in front of the warning track is Mateo Zeppieri. And that'll retire the side. But another 2-run shot, this time from Angel Guerrero, makes it 8-1 for the Hamilton Cardinals. And if you're Pete Kiefer in that dugout, the message is clear. They're showing you up on the home run side of things. You know you got some power. I think it's time to use it. You got to start using it immediately.
Yeah, I mean, as easy as it is to harp on the pitching staff, we knew it was going to be tough for the Panthers, especially at the tail end of this 4 games in 4 days stretch. No matter what, they're going to finish at 500 with 2 wins in Chatham and then yesterday in Guelph. But talk about the difference in winning 3 out of 4 and 2 out of 4 is just so huge when it comes to establishing your presence in the standings. I mean, still obviously a long way to go, but these are the 4th and 5th place teams right now in the standings, and looking at the teams that are going to be at the top and likely to stay there, barring any major injuries or mid-season acquisitions, it's most likely that these are the kind of teams that will be fighting for that 1-game play-in come the end of August and early September. And right now, the Cardinals have taken full control of this game, and once again, this is a very beatable team. The Panthers have already gone to Hamilton and won in their ballpark this year. Right now, Freezie Adamas is dealing, and with 5 different Cardinals being able to pop one over the wall. It's been a long way to go, and the pitching staff, like I said, easy to harp on them, but this is a Panthers team that has also made their name not just this season, but last season and throughout their time here at this ballpark and scoring a ton of runs, and they haven't been able to get anything going today.
Well, the big reason is Freezie Adamas. 8 strikeouts through 4 innings of work. I think that Panthers side might breathe a little bit easier once Adamas comes out of the game because he has been bringing the heat.
Yeah, and they've got to knock him out of the game, and in order to do that, you've got to get to him and get some hard contact. So far, just the 2 hits allowed, the single from Penalve and, of course, the solo homer from Fuji, and they've only issued 1 walk, so 2 total base runners is not going to cut it.
And it'll be the bottom of the order to start things off for the Panthers. In the 5th, Zane Scansey, just his 2nd plate appearance on the day. "62 pitches for Freezie Adames.
Needed 18 to get through that fourth. That's the most pitches he's thrown in an inning today, but the Panthers still unable to cash in on it.
Zane Scansey takes strike one. Adames gets the sign. And that'll paint the outside edge. And I think one thing to say about Adames, yes, he's getting a lot of swing and misses, but he's really finding that strike zone with a lot of consistency.
Yeah, and he's doing it with the slider on the outer half of the plate and the lower in the zone. And you see that time buried the fastball in the dirt, but lots of these swings and misses that he's been getting has been that breaking ball that starts at the bottom of the zone and finishes in the dirt. And these Panthers hitters have just been fooled whether or not to lay off of it or try and make contact. And most of the time, it's resulted in a strikeout.
Well, it's a 1-2 count here on Scansey. That one just missing. Not by much. Adames getting set. That one missing again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and really liking the plate approach here from Scansey.
Yeah, some of those pitches are real tough to lay off of. I mean, lots of Adames' damage has been done low in the zone, but able to lay off that one with 2 strikes. It's not easy to do.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Make it 9 for Freezie Adames.
And Adames has just such a strong arsenal that it can make it so hard for hitters. We just talked about Scansey having that good takedown low where Adames has been so good, but hey, he's also been good at mixing up the eye level of the hitter and using that fastball up or the fastball away to get a batter to chase. And that's exactly what he did that time, elevating the fastball to Scansey and had no chance to catch up to that one.
He's putting himself into pitcher of the week territory as Adames, as that one missing upstairs. Yosuke Fuji, the only run on the board for the Kitchener Panthers via the home run. Swing and a miss for strike 1. What a game here for Adames. Chopper down the line, that's going to go foul. Exactly what the doctor ordered. And I'm not talking about Stephen Hospital. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 10 strikeouts for Freezie Adames. He is having himself a dandy of a game.
And that's the second straight one that he's gone back to the fastball, just rearing back and blowing that one by Yosuke Fuji, who has such a quick bat and has no problem usually adjusting at a 2-strike count. But Freezie Adames has been absolutely dealing here this afternoon.
Charlie Towers comes up to the plate. That'll miss inside. Adames only facing 3 above the minimum in this game. I know he's given up the hit, but channeling his inner Owen Boone in this ballpark. That'll be fouled back. Towers, a strikeout victim back in the 3rd inning. Just the 2 hits for the Panthers so far in this game. Really quieted down compared to what they did yesterday with 16 hits on Guelph Royals pitching.
And Adames has just left these Panthers hitters guessing. That time you see Towers kind of back off a pitch that ended up being in the heart of the zone.
That'll go over to first in time, and that'll end the inning. 10 strikeouts for Freezie Adames. We are through 5 here at the couch, and the Hamilton Cardinals have an 8-1 lead. We'll be back on the other side with the 6th inning of play. Stay with us. You're watching KPTV Live.
Let me into my zone. Let me into my zone. Please don't let me into my zone. 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 Please don't let me in. Yeah. Can't answer my phone now. Just leave it there, that tone. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now. Cause I'm back in my zone now.
This afternoon.
Follow the Panthers anytime on social media for the most up-to-date information on the Kitchener Panthers. You can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on this very YouTube channel for those that are on the YouTube feed here today. So you are notified of our latest content, whether it's home games or even other content as we take a look inside the Kitchener Panthers. 6th inning about to get started here at the couch, as there is ball 1 on Yoelqui Pena, his 3rd plate appearance of the afternoon. That'll clip the strike zone just on the outside.
Another inning of work for Serrata, and got to imagine that Pete Kiefer is hoping for him to eat as many innings as possible, considering where the Panthers are at in this 4-game and 4-day stretch. It's looking really good in that 4th inning, but that 5th inning after he got the first 2 outs, that's when things started to spiral. Gave up the walk to Rainy Reyes and then the 2-run shot to Angel Guerrero. Seemed like the Panthers were still kind of in it before that, but now trailing by 7. No lead is always safe. I know that's always the saying, but it certainly feels a lot more out of reach after that 5th.
Absolutely. Well, no lead is safe, as you said, especially in this ballpark. But the Cardinals feel like they have a lot in control of this one. Pena reached on an error the last time up. Here's the 2-2. That one is going to get through the gap and into right field, a base hit. Yoelqui Pena with his first hit of the ball game.
And it's really been 1 through 9 today for the Cardinals. Pena, another hit. Well, excuse me, that's his first hit, but another Cardinal hit overall. And 8 of the 9 Cardinals batters today have reached base safely at least once.
Well, one of those is Tyler Duncan. Didn't stay on the base path long. The only time he reached base, he was circling the bags. First pitch swinging, gets that one out of play. Well, if you're following on the online scoreboard, we talk about games potentially out of reach or not. The win probability at 91% here for the Hamilton Cardinals. That one misses downstairs.
And until Freezie Adamas is out of the game, I feel like that's more like 99%.
I think so. 99% of the time, it's every time? Or is it 60?
60% of the time it works every time.
That doesn't make sense. That one misses outside. Duncan 1 for 3 overall. On top of the home run, he also long fly out to left field and also grounded one to the pitcher. As that's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Good job by Serrata crossing him up, and this inning's not going to get any easier. You issue the leadoff hit to the number 9 hitter, and the lineup card turns over, so not a lot of breathing room. You got to go right at Duncan here with 2 strikes.
The 2-2 is going to miss inside, and that's going to actually hit him.
I said right at him, but not quite like that.
Well, Duncan is going to get on base for the second time today, and nobody out. There's runners now on first and second for Darlin Herman.
Throughout the season, Serrata, just like most pitchers do, operates much more comfortably and much smoother when there are no runners on the base pass. And now with a lot of traffic out there and the heart of the Cardinals order coming up, he's going to have to tap dance his way out of trouble here.
Well, from the lefty to the righty here for Serrata. That one right down the heart of the plate for a strike. Something that's absolutely needed there. A first pitch strike just to get ahead of the count. And right again into the strike zone.
Almost the exact same pitch. Going with that off speed on the outside corner. Now way up ahead in the count 0-2, looking for a fastball.
That's going to be fouled away.
It was with the breaking ball that time. Still in the middle half of the plate. Gotta wonder if he tries to bury one here up in the count.
Ibarra sets up outside. That one just missing. He was looking for the inside corner. The outside corner, rather. That's going to go down the line. That's a fair ball. Yosuke Fuji will get to the bag, and he got him. A slide there from Yosuke Fuji tags the bag in time to get the force out.
What a heads-up play by Fuji. Not easy at all to make. It's the second time today that we've seen one of those choppers that carries him into foul ground away from the third base bag. His first instinct there, you're thinking double play. He looks down a second. No chance to get Duncan, who's already sliding in there. And you've got Herman, who's speedy, hustling up the line of first base in a very long throw. Really, his only play is to go to third to get Pena. And that's a play that not a lot of third basemen in this league can make.
There's a reason why he was a Gold Glover at third base last season. First time the league here has given out Gold Glove awards. Junior Ibarra also getting it in the catching position. The 0-1 to Feliz. He lays off of it, but it goes across for a strike. The Cardinals threatening again. They have scored in every single inning so far. That one sent high. Playable in center field. Gross gets underneath it. He'll make the catch and throw it back into the infield. Nobody advances on that one.
And Serrata now just one batter away from dancing his way out of trouble. And like you said, the Cardinals have scored in every inning, so putting the first 0 on the board for the Panthers pitching staff this afternoon. Gave up the single, hit a batter, and then since then he's got 2 consecutive outs. And It's Jaden Brown up at dish. Mentioned that 8 of the 9 Cardinals hitters had reached safely today. He is the one who has not.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts for Jaden Brown. That one misses on the outside. Like to avoid the golden sombrero here.
He was the first batter that Serrata faced when he came on in relief in the 5th inning, froze him with a fastball.
That'll go across for a strike, as Brown wasn't even thinking about swinging at that one. That'll be fouled back. 1-2 count. As Serrata's pitch count really starting to climb here. By contrast, Adames 78 pitches throughout the game, as that one's going to go right through the second base. It goes, and they'll get the force out. And there is the goose egg the Panthers were looking for here in the 6th. We're going to head to the bottom of the 6th with the Hamilton Cardinals up 8-1. And that is a big jam that Elian Serrata was able to get the Panthers out of.
And you mentioned the high pitch count. He was up to 62 pitches to get out of that inning, and that comes in the same week that he already went out and started and threw 77 pitches. Pitched into the 5th inning Tuesday against the Bay Cats, and a lot rougher of an appearance in that one. 9 hits, 5 earned runs. Did get a lot of swing and miss overall. 8 strikeouts on the night through 77 pitches and did not issue a walk. Has issued 2 so far today since coming into the game. It'll be very interesting to see if he gets another inning of work, or now as we enter the later stages of this game, if Pete Kiefer decides to give him the hook.
Well, still in the game is Freezie Adames, 78 pitches in. And again, as I mentioned in the last inning, really putting himself in the conversation for CBL Pitcher of the Week. I know he's going to have my nod.
It'll be very interesting because one of his teammates is also probably going to be the front runner. It's probably going to be between the two of them. Do you take Adames, who pitches deeper into a game and has a higher strikeout volume but gives up a run, or do you take Boone, who pitched 6 shutout innings efficiently? You can really make a case for both.
You really can. And then even just looking at other teams, I mean, Euclides Layer had a great game for the Welland Jackfish yesterday. And speaking of which, when we look at the out-of-town scoreboard, both other games in action right now are into the 8th inning. Bottom 8 in Chatham, the Barnstormers with a 5-2 lead on Brantford, while top 8 at Christie Pitts, Welland still with a 5-0 lead. And one other game that is happening, it's going to be Guelph in London. First pitch going to get underway in about 10 to 15 minutes time at Labatt Park in London. So here comes Matteo Zeppieri, as now we're through to the 3rd time around the order. What have they learned about Freezie Adames? And what can they do to try to put some runs on the board?
Well, they've certainly learned that he does a lot of things well and can attack you in a lot of different ways, which makes it so hard to prepare for an at-bat. Obviously, these Panthers talk a lot in the dugout, try to give each other tips for what they're seeing, pick up on some tendencies from Adames, but what makes him even more dangerous is he hasn't had a lot of traffic on the base paths to deal with tonight. He can rear back and fire at will, and he has been dealing throughout the ball game here this afternoon.
The 2-0 counts. That's going to be fouled back. Two balls, 1 strike. The delivery, swing and a miss for strike 2.
Talk about his pitch mix, and That's a spot where Zeppieri was sitting fastball looking for something up in the zone, but Adames pulls the string.
That'll be fouled back. Zeppieri 0 for 2. Big pitch here. That's going to miss for ball 4, and another free pass issued by Adames. Just the second one he's given today.
Yeah, he doesn't issue a whole lot of walks, and neither does this Cardinals pitching staff as a whole. Mentioned they came into today having only issued 13 walks. That is the fewest in the CBL, but a big one there for Zeppieri, and always a little more meaningful when you can do it to start an inning.
Well, that'll bring up Petey Kiefer. And we've talked about it. This is the time to get things started. They should have been getting things started earlier, but
the game did start at 2 o'clock.
It did. We're starting to get into that crunch time, though.
It's just one of the beauties of this sport of baseball. There's no clock out there, nowhere to hide, and now we're going to get our first mound visit for Adames, who obviously has been cruising in every way, shape, and form. He hits 85 pitches, including throwing a ball there. Gotta wonder if he called for a meeting or if after seeing a walk and then ball 1, maybe that sounded the alarms. They're going to let him keep working, though, and I don't blame him at all.
They're going to get reset. It's the one ball, no strikes. That one's going to miss, but the runner's going to go, and no throw. Mateo Zeppieri steals a bag. He's been doing that with some regularity this year.
He's been doing it. He did it last year, and the Panthers have been doing it earlier this season as well. And it's those little things that can create some momentum, especially in a situation like this. Great pitch to run on from Zeppieri. Ends up being a fastball up in the zone. No chance for McGill to pop out of his crouch and make a throw down.
There he goes again. Throw to third, and he's going to get in there safely.
Standing up at that, no chance, as Rainy Reyes wasn't even ready down there at third base in position, still in a position to take the throw from McGill, but no chance to apply the tag, and Zeppieri back-to-back stolen bases.
Another runner 90 feet away. Zeppieri dancing down the third base line.
Let's steal home. Why not?
That one's going to miss. Well, the third baseman not really close to the bag, so Zeppieri has all the time in the world to dance over there, as that one is going to miss.
And that's exactly what a 7-run cushion can do for you for Adames. And I'm sure that was what was said as well in the mound visit. Hey, do not worry about this runner. That does not mean anything. The next 3 runners don't really mean anything. Focus on the hitter. Continue to do what you've done all game long. And Zeppieri is going to do everything he can, especially in full view of the righty Adames. But at this point, I think the Cardinals have bigger concerns on their hands.
Adames, the 3-2. That one is going to go over to second. Feliz fields it over to first in time. The runner will score, but there's one away here in the 6th.
And a good piece of hitting from Kiefer, even just to run that count full and allow Zeppieri to swipe a couple bases in the process, puts it on the right side of the infield. You're looking for either a deep fly ball there to the outfield for a sac fly or something on the ground to the right side to cash in a run. Does his job, gets another run for the Panthers, but still a long way to go.
I'll bring up Rafi Gross. He has struck out twice in today's ball game. There's a strike. And 8 of the 9 hitters for the Panthers have at least one strikeout, as that one's going to paint the outside edge. The only batter not to strike out to Adames so far in this game, Junior Ibarra. Adames puts that one downstairs.
And this is later in the game, as now you see Adames creeping up towards that 100 pitch mark, that sometimes that location can just dip it just a bit, and you saw it that time. Couldn't locate the fastball. The Panthers are hoping he leaves one over the heart of the plate.
That one's going to be blocked. Jacob Gadget is warming up for the Cardinals.
Have to imagine this will be it for Adames. Already into double-digit strikeouts, has only allowed the 2 runs, so in position for a win, a quality start. I'm sure at this point he would just love to add a few more Ks in there.
That one's going to miss inside, and Gross getting out of the way of that one.
In the early going, it was Hewitt and Serrata that were dealing high and into the Cardinals hitters. That time, Adames runs one up and into Gross. No malintentions, but does run the count full with that one.
Takes a look. Here comes the 3-2. Hopper, and that's going to get hopped over Reyes and a base hit for Rafi Gross.
And Gross just hit that ball so hard on the ground. I thought Reyes was in a good position to make the play, but it just looked like it took a late hop at the last second over his glove.
We're going to have a mound visit, and the signal has been made by Luis Bernardo. Jacob Gadget will come into the ball game for the Hamilton Cardinals after a valiant effort here from Freezie Adames. Well, at least he made the signal.
Well, second mound visit, so he has to come out of the game.
Yeah, here he comes. So we're going to go to break. We'll have a new pitcher come into the ball game on the other side. You're watching KPTV Live. Hamilton up 8-2 as there it goes, Freezie Adames.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
Jacob Gadget now into the ball game for the Hamilton Cardinals as the day is done for Freezie Adames. And is that the turning point of this game?
Well, the Panthers sure hope so, and they do have a runner aboard and only 1 out. They got a big batter coming up in Yasvani Penalve, good contact hitter, knows how to get on base. in a lefty-lefty matchup, so I like the decision from Cardinals coaching staff to make the move.
Well, the chopper will go foul as Rafi Gross took off on the pitch and slid right into second, as he'll have to go back 90 feet. So you can tell the aggressive base running from the Panthers, it's going to continue as they try to close the gap here. I'd imagine that he's going to go off, but again, with a lefty on the mound, you really have to pick your spots. That's down the line, and that's a fair ball. That's going to go all the way down to the fence. Circling around third is Gross. He's getting the wave home. Throw is not going to make it to the plate, and the Panthers have added another run. Yasvani Penalve with a one-run single,
And
with a one-run double.
Yasvani Penalve staying hot, and with Rafi Gross in motion right on contact, that one just sneaks inside the first baseline. Gives Gross a chance to show off the wheels flying around third, and the Panthers get two here in the sixth, trying to climb their way back.
And here comes Junior. A good piece of hitting there from Yasvani Penalve.
Absolutely. Gadget goes with the breaking ball down in the zone, and Penalve just turns on it, sends it inside the first base line, and with Herman over at first base, playing tight to that line because of the lefty, still hit it hard enough just to sneak past the dive. It brings home a run on the RBI double.
That'll go across for a strike.
Win percentage now at 75% as I see you checking that out.
Okay.
The lead is safe.
So it is calibrated to CBL standards. A look over at second. Chopper. It's playable. It's a high hopper, and a throw over to first is going to get the runner in time. But Yasvani Penalve advances to third. That's a tough play.
Tough play and really a tough break for the Panthers, and it kind of seems like that throughout the season. You know, Junior does so many things well. Obviously, one of the best defensive catchers in the league, solid hitter. No catcher is going to have that speed that's beating out an infield single. And oftentimes it just feels like when the Panthers, they need anything but a double play, Junior ends up putting the ball, a play like that, a ball that goes so high on the infield where you got to think almost anyone else in the lineup probably beats it out for an infield single. I would have kept the inning going with runners on the corners and one out, but instead now it's up to Josh Williams.
Did he hold off? Yes, he did.
Also a ton of credit to Feliz on that last play as well. Have to wait for that ball to come down, and when you do, don't have a lot of time to get it over to first. Even with Ibarra going, he only beat him by a step or two.
That'll miss on the outside edge. 2-0 count here on Josh.
Gadget looking a bit frazzled after that call. Thought he got the outside corner. Instead, he falls behind 2-0. Possibly make a mistake on the next pitch.
That'll miss downstairs, and it's a 3-0 count here on Williams.
And with a righty waiting on deck for the Panthers, you'll gladly take a free pass if that's what they want to issue here to Josh Williams.
A 3-0 swing and a miss.
At this point in the game, I like Williams getting the green light there. You know he's going to give him a pitch to hit, and he's still way up in the count. Just couldn't connect on that one.
Try again. Gadget, the delivery. That one is going to paint the inside. Puts the count at 3-2.
And looked like a pitch that crossed up McGill. Don't think he was anticipating a fastball up in the zone there. I think he was anticipating something off speed to drop, but ends up working out for Gadget.
The payoff. Missing outside. Puts the runners on the corners as Josh Williams gets on board for the first time today. So Zane Scansey with an opportunity with 2 men aboard to try to cut into this lead. 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. Will he have better luck with a different batter? With a different pitcher, I should say. As there is more activity in the Cardinals bullpen, Caleb Sarosky is warming up.
We've seen some good at-bats from Scansy early on in his Panthers career overall. Just 5 for 28 to start his CBL career, but we have seen him hit the ball to the wall a few times, find the gaps. Already, 4 of those 5 hits are doubles. That check swing, though, they do say he won a round, so count goes to 0-2 now for Scansy.
The 0-2, and that's going to get through. 1 run's going to come in to score, a base hit for Zane Scansy.
Just a good piece of hitting. We often talk about a hitter going with the pitch, and that's exactly what he did. An off-speed pitch on the outer half of the plate. You're not going to be able to hit that one for a home run, but you can put a solid swing on it and send it for a line drive the other way into the opposite field. That's exactly what Scansy does. Nice, easy swing brings home a run, and all of a sudden, the tying run is on deck.
What's the old saying?
No lead is safe.
Check over at second base. Swing and a miss from Yosuke Fuji, and this is the bat you really want up in a situation like this, already with a home run on his ledger today.
Exactly, and the Cardinals go with a left-hander to try and make things harder for the Panthers, but this is the one guy that's foolproof, the switch hitter in the Panthers lineup.
That'll be sent foul into the parking lots.
Now looking for a real tight, short swing approach from Fuji here, down 0-2. We know he can do it. He's got that quick bat speed. Now it's just about getting a good pitch to hit from Jacob Gadzik.
Check over at second. That'll miss inside. Josh Williams straying off of second base. Zane Scansy over at first. And it's a 1-2 count here on Fuji. A homer and a strikeout here today. Upstairs, didn't go around. 2-2 the counts.
Good job from Fuji to lay off that pitch. That can be a tough take for a batter at times, especially a good fastball hitter like himself. He sees one elevated in the zone, and with 2 strikes, your instinct is to protect, but his second instincts pay off there to lay off one and even the counts.
Check over again on second, and Gadzik steps off. His former teammate Josh Williams, he's keeping an eye on. Here it comes, the 2-2. And that's going to get through the hole. Williams trots into third, a base hit, and that'll load up the bases as the Panthers continue around the horn, and I think that's going to be it for Jacob Gadzik, as here comes Luis Bernardo. Yes, there's the signal.
It's a great piece of hitting from Yosuke Fuji. Mentioned down 0-2 in the count, needed a shorter approach and a tight swing, and to really be protective up there with 2 strikes in such a crucial part of the ballgame. He does just that. 2 really good takes, a pitch in the dirt, looks at one up high, and then he ends up slapping one in the left field to keep the inning going. Love the play to hold Josh Williams at third base. No reason to make the final out of the inning at home plate. Now the tying run's going to come to the plate.
Caleb Sarosky coming into the ball game for the Cardinals. We'll be back on the other side. The Panthers threatening here in the 6th.
What I look for in a Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything. It's good to get that feel in your hands and you have it rolling. more easy to catch. Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rollins does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred.
I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rollins, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. And it never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand. And it's a mark of a pro.
Oh, the hype train is starting up here. The Kitchener Rangers going for their third Memorial Cup championship tonight against Everett. 7 o'clock puck drop. They're having a free watch party at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. And of course, those two fans got into the ballpark free with this cross-sport promotion. Super Sports Sunday here at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium property with Jack Couch Park here as well. The Kitchener Panthers have a hole to climb out of, though, but they are threatening with Caleb Sorosky on the mound. The base is loaded. That one's crushed high and deep. It is playable, and it's just going to drop foul.
And one of those plays, like you said, Mark, certainly playable, especially with a lefty at the plate. Lots of times, first baseman and right fielder are playing in towards the line, but that one from Towers just short enough of a launch angle and ran in on his hands and broke the bat. You got to think with a swing like that, if he had gotten the barrel on it, good chance that might have left the yard for a game-tying grand slam. Instead now, the count will be 1-1 as the Cardinals now on to their third pitcher of the inning, just when it seemed like they were set to run away with this one on the Sunday. Even if Towers doesn't come through here, the Panthers are very much back into this ballgame.
Sorosky, third pitcher of the game for the Cardinals. He gets the sign. And that's going to paint the inside edge for a strike.
One of the things about Sorosky that can throw a hitter off so much is the way each pitch looks out of his hand, whether it's the off speed, the fastball, the slider. He does a good job making that delivery look almost identical.
And that's going to be off the top of the bat, off the mask, as Charlie Towers stays alive.
Sorosky going with the slider and then with the fastball up and into Towers. And just like I said, those two pitches looking identical out of Sorosky's hand. And now Towers has a 2-strike count once again.
The 1-2. And that is strike 3, the punch out. And Charlie Towers strikes out. Caleb Sorosky gets the Cardinals out of a bases-loaded jam. The Hamilton Cardinals with an 8-4 lead as we head to the 7th on the other side here on KPTV Live.
Let me into my zone, let me into my zone. Please don't let me into my zone, let me into my zone. Let me into my zone, let me into my zone. Please don't let me in. Yeah. Can't answer my phone now, just leave it there at that tone. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now. Cause I'm back in my zone now.
Into the 7th inning we go. Kitchener Panthers trailing the Hamilton Cardinals by a score of 8-4. Panthers threatening in that last inning, but a good job by Caleb Sorosky to get the visitors out of the jam as Brandon Nickel, Rainy Reyes, and Angel Guerrero do up here for the Cards.
And in that 6th inning, Serrata finally put up the first 0 on the board by a Panthers pitcher, and they're going to need more of that if they want to keep their comeback hopes alive. That 3 spot for the Panthers in the bottom half of the 6th inning certainly gave them some hope. Tough strikeout for Charlie Towers going down looking with the bases loaded. But the good news is that it will be the top of the order for Kitchener in the 7th inning, and we'll have another shot now that they're into the Hamilton Cardinals bullpen.
That one skips right on over to Fuji. He takes a moment, plants his foot, and a dart over to first. 1 away.
And Fuji looking good in his return to the home lineup today. Of course, had the last home game off Thursday, and then a tough couple away games. Speaking of away games, there's a look at the next 5 for the Panthers.
Yeah, Hamilton coming back here on Thursday before a road game in London on the Friday nights. Last game of May here today. Of course, the last day of May, June 1st, already here tomorrow. A lot of home games upcoming for the Kitchener Panthers. Chatham, Kent, Welland, that's a rain-out makeup game from a couple of weeks ago. And, of course, Toronto will come here on a rare Friday night at home. That'll go over the heart of the plate. It's Rainy Reyes, 0 for 2 with a walk. That'll miss downstairs.
Good take from Reyes, who has been really hot to start this season for Hamilton. Comes into today with the best OPS on the team and has been swinging a hot bat ever since he's signed here with the Cardinals. 1263 coming into today with a 467 batting average. Has played in just the 4 games. Of course, Hamilton had only played in a couple. That one is crushed to deep left field, and that'll leave the yard. 6th homer of the day for the Cardinals, and that one off the bat of Rainy Reyes.
And Rainy Reyes getting in on the home run parade, make it 9-4. And, well, that there extends the lead to 5 yet again. And you said it, another homer for this Cardinals team. I think they've broken out of that home run schneid.
Pretty incredible when you think about it. Coming in with just 1 homer in your first 5 games, a lot of that is playing in a pitcher's-friendly park, which obviously suits their team very well to play at a pitcher's-friendly ballpark. But, hey, when the hitters get to come and swing at, in their eyes, is a much shorter ballpark, they have done an excellent job here today in taking advantage of it.
That's going to go into foul territory. Fuji plays it and gets it for the outs. Fuji has been rather busy today on that third base side.
I mean, absolutely. There's been a few plays on choppers up the third baseline that has carried him into foul territory, a long way from the bag at first. We've seen him make that throw over there, and then the last time he had one hit his way, he did a great job diving into the bag at third base to get the force out, which ended up being a huge out for the Panthers.
That'll miss on Evan McGill for ball 1. Puts that one into left field. Zeppieri chasing after it and gets it on the run. So the home run given up, but otherwise it's a 1-2-3 for Elian Serrata as we are into stretch time here at the couch on a Sunday afternoon. We'll be back on the other side with the bottom of the 7th. The Hamilton Cardinals with a 9-4 lead. All right, we're going to stay with us because we got the Kitchener Rangers flags making a lap here on the concourse area. Rangers spirit very much alive and well as they are having themselves quite the Memorial Cup tournament and cap things off tonight. Again, 7 o'clock puck drop at Prospera Place in Kelowna. It's going to be tough for them to get another one over the Silvertips, who have been just as hot as the Rangers throughout the WHL postseason, and have a certain someone named Landon DuPont to have to worry about tonight.
Well, it certainly seems like the final that we were headed for throughout the tournament. Obviously, the two best teams and two teams that did tremendously well throughout their respective playoffs. And it's always tough to beat a team twice, and Kitchener will be faced with a tough task tonight against a very good Silvertips team, but they have looked like the best team throughout this tournament, and should be a fantastic game. And all these fans, I'm sure, are getting even antsier with puck drop now just 2.5 hours away.
And the good news that we heard that Avalanche prospect and one of their top guys in Christian Humphreys is able to play today, had a healthy practice, and will be in the lineup for the Rangers. And it was a scary incident that he dealt with in that final round robin game with a bit of the foot stomp that he had to deal with. That one's fouled back, but it's always good to see that Christian Humphreys, although suffered a bit of a hiccup there, was able to get into the lineup here tonight. An 0-1 count here on Zeppieri, who just made that running catch to end the top half of the inning. Caleb Sorosky still in the ball game. By the way, also has some lineage in sports. His dad, Caleb, former pro hockey player, played for the Waterloo Siskins, as well as the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Had a time in the AHL loop with the Hamilton Bulldogs, also played in the ECHL. The 2-1 missing on the outside. 54 goals with the Greyhounds, Caleb's dad, in 96-97, by the way. The 3-1 swing and a miss, strike two. Out-of-town scoreboard, Brantford with a 5-4 come-from-behind win on the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers.
Tough start to the season down in Chatham.
And elsewhere, bottom 9, Welland with a 6-2 lead on Toronto, as that's a strikeout for Sorosky. So here comes Petey Kiefer, who is also 0 for 3 on the day. Just 6 hits for the Panthers. 4 of them alone coming in that last inning. Swing and a miss for strike one. And, although the struggles have been continuing for Chatham this early into the season, see those new Maple City jerseys they were
Sure have.
Putting on social media?
You mentioned the tough start, but of course that you have to leave out the fact that they won 16-2 on opening day and have also beaten the Baycats. But so their 2 wins really good, but some tough losses in the meantime. Of course, one comes to mind, the game that was here 2 weeks ago when it was the Panthers home opener and the Barnstormers had a comfortable lead, and the Panthers came from behind after a very costly error by Owen Constantino over at first base.
There's another strikeout. Petey Kiefer goes down. He's 0 for 4 today. Yeah, 2 and 4 record for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers for the first 6 games of the year. Of course, as you saw in the next 5 games graphic, one of those games will be against the Barnstormers.
And after the slow start for the Red Sox, they now have picked up back-to-back wins. Of course, yesterday they won against Hamilton. It was the second half of their home and home to start the weekend. And now a win today against Chatham. So the Red Sox pick up 2 in a row to get themselves into the mix.
They're not the same Red Sox as they were the last few years. I'll tell you that much. They had a lot of punch in that lineup.
I think you said the same thing to me last year, but this year I do truly believe you.
Do you really?
I do. I really do this
All right.
year.
I guess we'll see what happens in a couple of weeks if that can continue.
That's right. That's right. When they make their first visits.
That one sent high and deep. It's crushed all the way back and gone. Rafi Gross goes yard for the third time in 4 games. A solo jack with 2 away will close the gap a little bit more for the Panthers.
Boy, oh boy, Rafi Gross has been showing off the power this week at another home run. And that came after Caleb Sorosky had been cruising right along. 3 straight strikeouts since he came into the game, but just left that breaking ball up in the zone, hung it just a little bit, and Gross pounced on it. Majestic blast over the left center field wall.
9-5 the score, and here comes Yasvani Pinalde, who's 2 for 3. Logan Workington is warming up in the bullpen for the Hamilton Cardinals. And that one sent high and deep. It's going back. It's got time, but on the warning track is Pena, and he'll make the catch. Almost back-to-back jacks, but we are heading to the 8th here at the couch. The Hamilton Cardinals 9, the Kitchener Panthers 5. You're watching KPTV Live.
Let me into my zone, let me into my zone. Please don't let me into my zone, let me into my zone. Let me into my zone, let me into my zone. Please don't let me in. Yeah. Can't answer my phone now, just leave it there, that tone. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now. Cause I'm back in my zone now.
Welcome back to KPTV Live. Mark Perry, Ian Jotry here in the broadcast booth, top of the 8th. Elian Serrata back in the ball game here for the Kitchener Panthers, as he is getting an extended look here on the mound on the tail end of 5 games in 6 days. A busy stretch for the Panthers.
And it all started with that Serrata start Tuesday against Barrie. He pitched into the 5th inning of that one, threw 77 pitches. So there's a potential that he's going to throw 2 starts worth of pitches in the span of a week, span of 5 days, really.
That one sent high. It's playable in left field. And Matteo Zeppieri will get underneath it and make the catch.
1 pitch, 1 out. That's a pitcher's best friend, and especially when you want to get the bats back to work here after they've given you something to work with and gotten you back into the ball game.
So here comes Tyler Duncan. 1 for 3. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th. And he got a 4-run differential. That'll hit the strike zone. And by the way, the game at Christie Pitts has now gone final. Welland 6, Toronto 2. Welland improving to 5-2 on the year. That'll hit the strike zone for strike 2. Those that are wondering in that game, Yasiel Puig 1 for 4. The 0-2. That one missing on the outside.
Gotta wonder if it's going to be a similar story for the Maple Leafs as it was last year, where they had a pretty good team but just couldn't win in their home ballpark. Ever since they beat the Panthers in the season opener, they have yet to win a game at all.
It's been tough at the pits. It's been the pits at Christie Pitts for the Maple Leafs after the season opener, as that one misses downstairs. Scoreless top two in London. The Guelph Royals are in town. Guelph looking for their first win of the season. The 3-2. That one is a chopper, and that's going to get out into right center field. Duncan puts on the brakes, and that's just going to be a single for the former MVP.
Can't really fault Elian Serrata for that pitch. I think he threw that one below the strike zone, but Duncan, just being the solid hitter that he is, went down and got it and was somehow able to get the barrel of the bat on it. That's such a tough angle, but still scoots it into right center field for a base hit and his second of the ball game.
This will bring up Darlin Herman. And that's going to miss inside. Herman gets out of the way. As Luis giving off some signals over at third. There's some movement on that last pitch. Good job there by Serrata. A 1-1 count as Herman needed to take an extra second to look for that signal from Luis over at third. That'll go out of play.
For as lethal as the Cardinals lineup has been today, it's pretty shocking that before that last hit from Duncan, nobody in the lineup had more than one hit on the day.
That is spread offense at its finest. Everybody getting in. The 1-2, and trying to frame that one was Junior, but he's not going to get the call.
As mentioned, 6 home runs today for the Cardinals, all coming off different bats. Darlin Herman is one of the 3 that has not sent one over the wall yet today.
That'll miss outside. Puts the count at 3-2. Serrata's pitch count inching towards 80. And Ben Hewitt got the start, just went the first 3 innings, gave up 5 runs. That one is launched deep left field, and that is a no-doubter for Darlin Herman. Another jack here at the Jack for the Hamilton Cardinals.
Does that one go in the category of announcers, Jinx? I said he was one of 3 Cardinals to not homer today. 7 of them have now gone deep. Herman gets in on the party, and just as soon as it seemed like the Panthers were sniffing a comeback, Darlin Herman gets them into double digits in runs today.
I don't believe in jinxes, Ian, but I think that might have been a jinx.
That was right there. Right there.
11-5. Hamilton leading Kitchener. The power on full display for the visitors.
The only question for that one off the bat of Darlin Herman when it left the bat is whether or not it would stay fair. And sure enough, it was to the right side of that left field foul pole by a good 5 or 10 feet. And home run number 7 on the day for this Hamilton Cardinals team.
The 2-0, did he hold up? No, he did not. Cardinals full marks, both on offense and on defense.
And they didn't just do it against Ben Hewitt, who gave up 4 home runs. They have now homered 3 times off Elian Serrata as well out of the bullpen.
So we take a moment here. A reminder of the last season, July 10th, that was the no-hitter as Jaden Brown's going to come up here. Anderson Feliz is going to trot down to first base. Everybody gives the attention to Owen Boone for very good reason. Obviously, it's a historic mark that he pulled off there, but remember, it was an 18-0 game, 6 home runs by the Hamilton Cardinals in that game. So they love hitting here at the couch. As that's going to miss downstairs.
Last year, the Cardinals won 4 of the 5 games that they played against the Panthers. The only win, I believe, was a Saturday night in June when there was a makeup game for an earlier rainout. That was when the Panthers got their lone win against the Cardinals last season. They have had their number.
Serrata gets set. The 2-0 is going to go into the dirt. Well, the way the Panthers have been clawing their way back into this game slowly, they haven't done themselves many favors, as it seems like anytime they just inch closer, Hamilton starts to pull away, and they have done so again here in this inning. Upstairs, and that is ball 4 for Jaden Brown.
And I was about to say, I think Pete Kiefer has to come get Elian Serrata. Don't know if they're going to make the move quite yet, but as his pitch count gets even closer to 100, it looks like he might be losing control out there.
And you think about the busy week that the Panthers have had. A number of their pitchers have had multiple appearances. And you take a look at the last 2 games especially, it's not like they've burned through their entire bullpen. So it's not like they have Serrata out there out of necessity. They do have other arms that they can go to.
At this point, I'm curious if they're kind of pushing Serrata to see, just what they can get out of him and how his arm will react to pitching, 140 pitches in a 5-day span.
Well, he's not going to get into Owen Boone for London territory from the playoffs a few years ago, I'll tell you that much. As Brandon Nickel will come in here, the shortstop, 1 for 3 on the day. Swings and misses underneath the baseball on that one for strike 1. Just for those that recall in that playoff series against the Majors, Boone playing for the Majors about 340-ish pitches in the span of about a week, as that one's popped way high.
Infield fly roll.
Towers will get underneath it, make the grab. So 2 away here for Rainy Reyes and 2 men aboard. Well, somebody's been calling the doctor as Stephen Hospital is warming up in the bullpen. Rainy Reyes with 2 away takes a first pitch ball. One for 3. Ribeye on his record. Great Towers, and it hops on him. It goes into the outfield. Scampering home is Feliz, and he'll get in there safely, and the ball is thrown errantly and over to home. They'll get the outs. As Jaden Brown tries to get home, they're going to count Feliz, but not Brown. It's 12-5 for Hamilton, as that's the 3rd out of the inning. A good play, heads-up play by the third baseman, Yosuke Fuji, to throw home there.
Yeah, I mean, a crazy sequence altogether. Of first, a hard hit ball by Reyes at the second baseman. Towers just takes a huge hop on him. Then the throw comes in for from the outfield towards third base. And my first instinct is that was a really bad decision to throw that ball away, just because if it gets by Fuji, which it did, could lead to a run scoring. But more credit to Yasuke Fuji and the job that he's done on both sides of the ball today. Defensively there, great job going right after it, making a strong throw home. And Jaden Brown, I think, had no idea that the throw was coming in because he didn't even make an attempt to slide or avoid that tag from Ibarra. Easy play. That avoids the Panthers giving up 4 in the frame.
Caleb Sorosky sticks into the game here in the 8th inning. And it's a 7-run differential. Some fans have started to clear out here at the couch. And some of them are joining the lineup at the odd just in behind us. But with the Panthers here, it'll be Ibarra, Josh Williams, and Zane Scansey due up. What kind of heroics do they have in their bats? Coming up here. Ibarra 0 for 2 with a walk. Still the lone Panther not to strike out in today's game.
She'll probably have somebody on rowboats, maybe one of the.
That one is going to be sent high and out of play. No.
Line drive to Anderson Feliz, but right at him. Good piece of hitting from Ibarra. Sent that one right at him, but that'll be out number 1.
Distracted there, Ian. Sorry about that. As Josh Williams will step in here. Williams 0 for 2 with a walk. Has struck out twice today. And that's going to go right to Feliz over the first. Takes his time, and that'll be the second out.
Well, you talk about one team getting the good bounces and one team getting the bad ones. Last inning, we saw one eat up Charlie Towers, one that went straight over his glove in the center field that time. Williams sends a rocket on the ground, and Anderson Feliz takes such a big hop, but right into his glove, which is right around chest level. Just everything has gone the Cardinals' way today, and despite the Panthers' rally, they're still searching for answers with just 4 outs left at their disposal.
Sorosky deals inside for ball 1. Panthers bat around the order in the 6th. They were able to get 3 runs in that one, but Hamilton, what more can be said other than boom, boom goes the Dynamites. The 2-0 just clips the outside edge of the strike zone. That'll go into the dirt. 3-1. Scansey, a ground out, a strikeout, and a single. As Sorosky continues to deal. Did he hold off? Yes, he did. That'll be ball 4. And the Panthers got a base runner.
Can be a tough pitch to lay off if you're Scansey, especially the way that Sorosky set up earlier than the at-bat. Runs that fastball in on his hands. Often you're tempted to just foul it off and get a piece of it, especially with a 3-2 count, a 2-strike count. But good eye from Scansey keeps the inning alive for Kitchener.
Yosuke Fuji, a pair of hits. Looking to continue this inning. That's right across Ottawa Street. a very small strike zone to hit, though, as Fuji puts that one into foul ground, and that's going to be too far for Guerrero to catch up to.
Fuji already with one home run from the left side of the plate today. That time lifted one to the opposite field, but drifts foul. He's shown as a switch hitter that he can get it done from both sides of the dish, and no shortage of power when he switches sides.
The 0-2 is going to be fouled back. Fuji battling here, needs to. Takes that one inside. 1-2. Starowski was looking for some swinging. Sends that one out of play.
Yosuke Fuji is always a very tough out, despite coming into today on a bit of a slump. He has ended all those questions and debates with his performance here today, as he continues to battle and stay alive here in this 8th inning at bat.
That one down the line, and it's going to be gobbled up by Herman. No problem for him. He'll get to the bag, and that'll be the 3rd out. We're through 8 here at the couch. The Hamilton Cardinals 12, the Kitchener Panthers 5. We'll be back on the other side. 9th inning on the other side.
What I look for in a Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything. It's good to get that feel in your hands, and when you have it Rowling, it's more easy to catch. Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred.
I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. It never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand, and it's a mark of a pro.